Hey guys, BKRose9 here, giving you the IPDL Season 4 team, the Hope's Peak Hydreigons. Of course, last season we were the coach of the Fresno Fennekin's. We decided to switch it up now with our team name, and I'm really excited for this season. Last season we did make it to semis, but this season we will climb to the top with our team that is a bit unfamiliar, but I will get into that in just a second. As you know, I'm trying to get videos up. I am trying to get things ready for the for something that is coming up on the channel. So if I do struggle with some words, apologies, because it is the morning. So first up, we drafted Vanity, our Victini, who is our all-Z user. I feel like after using it in some leagues, it really plays to my style with V-Create, Bolt Strike, Wild Charge if needed. It can be ran as a Z Sunny Day user. It can be ran, I believe, as a Z Trick user. Don't know what Z Trick does, but possibly something to look into this season. And all around, it works really well with the team. Gets rid of some fire type weaknesses, or it can take fire type hits, is what I'm trying to say. But if you look at my total team, you can see that knockoff is kind of hurtful to me. Next up, we have Permafrost, our Mammoth Swine, running Normalium Z, which is an attacking Z user, my bad. Another good mon that I actually wanted to try out. I have not tried out Permafrost in a while. Like back in, I believe it was like UU tier when I tried this mon out. But it's a really good mon. Like good just for getting damage on things. Good for setting up stealth rocks. There's so many sets that this thing can run. Despite how indecent its move pool is. But it also gives us access to things like Thick Fat and possibly Snow Cloak if I decide to run like a Hail Melodic set or something like that. Speaking of Melodic, we drafted Calypso again, and I'm actually really happy with this. So third round in this draft, I'm kind of like, I need some defense, I need to deal with some things, like water, and I get my bulkiest water type that I know of. So basically, Mullei's just here to do what it's always been doing. Stop really big threats from setting up. Of course, it gets access to Haze, gets access to Scald and Ice Beam, Recover, Toxic. Just an all-around great mon. I am so happy I got this thing. Next up, we have Trifecta, the Mega Beedrill. Again, another, well, I would say this was like one of the megas that I've actually wanted to try out for a while. This and Mega Pidgeot. So, just a really great mon. It's ability and adaptability. Don't know why it wasn't showing it. I don't know really how I can say this well, but it's just a really hard hitter. It can threaten things out. Also, good thing to add is Fell Stinger. If you weaken your team, or if you weaken your opponent's team to like really low, and Fell Stinger can just knock something out, this thing becomes an ultimate threat. Of course, we still have to worry about rocks, and some things that can actually take hits. So like maybe a Tangrowth or something, possibly. As well, just good for mobility. Even though we have now 2 rock weaknesses, I kind of just had to think on my feet. Next up we have Gladiator, who was technically a snipe pick. What I mean by that is that Shaman got sniped from us. Thanks a lot, Celebi. But this thing's also really good despite having it being our grass type. Gets really good moves in Surf, T-Bolt. I didn't know it got Tailwind, so that's really cool. Tri-Attack, Shuttleball. I feel like I am going to be running it more offensive this season. So possibly like Flame Charge, Dragon Claw. It does get sorry. It does get Draco Meteor. It does get Flash Cannon for fairy types. And we get that unpredictability of running any type of memory. So if we do decide to run the grass memory, then I feel like we'll be all set. This thing is to act as our grass type. I know that is an odd thing to say, but it is what it is, and I'm happy. Next up, we got Steal Your Girl, the Registeel. If you guys don't know, IPDL Season 2, I ended up dropping this thing, just due to not having really a viable reason to have it. Ended up, I believe, picking up Permafrost instead. I ended up picking up Beartick last season for this thing. But it's because I really haven't seen how good this thing is. Like a Curse, Flash Cannon, not Flash Cannon, I'm sorry. Curse Iron Head gets rest. I think, yeah, it does. Power Punch if you just wanna, if you don't wanna really ruin your speed, even though speed really isn't a big thing on this thing. It's good for stopping a lot of fairies. I believe one of them is Clefairy and Sylveon. I'm not 100% sure on the Clefable. It does get Fire Blast. This thing gets Focus Blast, gets Flash Cannon, Focus Punch, Hammer Arm, Earthquake. If we want to run a cool explosion set, we can do that. So all in all, this thing is also to act as like a rocker, as well as kind of our biggest defensive mon, despite Melodic here. Next up we got Shino Ryu, the Noivern. When I was going into the draft, I kind of realized that I did not draft a dragon. Trust me, I kind of was like, oh great, I forgot a dragon, I'm screwed. And then I realized, you know what, let's pick up our boy Noivern. Let's figure out how we can run this guy. Well, looking at his move pool, I see Boom Burst, I see Air Slash, I see okay, for some reason everything gets Dark Pulse. It's kinda weird. Got Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse if you don't want to risk the misses. Flamethrower or Heat Wave. Does get Focus Blast, does get Hurricane. Hyper Voice if you don't want to run Boom Burst, but then again, it's kind of weird. You got Psychic, Shuttleball. So, I feel like Noivern is to act as that, like, big scary dragon, like a Chiron Black, or a Garchomp, or, like, it's going to, like, be that powerhouse, like, of an imposter, kind of. If that made any sense, please hit the like button on this video. But it kind of also acts as our defogger in a way. Because, if you look at the team as of right now, to this point, we don't really have much that can deal with hazards. In drafts, I've been always looking to Hitmonchan. I've been looking into my flying types, but this This week I just decided not to. Next up, we have Sugu, the Zoroark, who is really good at just pulling tricks. It has a great move pool and great special attack and speed. There's nothing else I could say. I used this last season and it's amazing. Next up, we have Golden Bonnie, the Azumarill, running Normalium Z. A really good mon that I've tried to like really take work of. In with our I'm sorry, Azumarill is our attacking Z user, and has 3 great abilities in Thick Fat, Huge Power, and Sap Sipper. Of course, usually you just run Huge Power and just start beating the living life out of your opponent. Well, for me, I'm gonna try to make use of all 3. Of course, if we do go against a really huge opponent that's like a grass type user, we can run Sap Sipper. If we're dealing with a whole bunch of like fire, ice type opponents, I can do that. Of course, Showdown, thank you. Wow, okay then. Okay. Yeah, do not mind the teams, my bad. Well, I guess really, what else to say? A great belly drummer. Hits really hard. I wish this thing was faster though. That's the only problem. But it was between this and Klefki due to my fairy type Mimikyu being drafted. Thanks a lot, Afonso. But those were like the really only two only 2 snipes that happened. Next up we have Helios, the Solaire of Astora, the Helios. If you get that reference, hit that like button. Of course, I didn't play the game, by the way. So, Helios kind of acts as well as a water absorber in dry skin. Can act as an immunity team if we decide to run Sandvale against, I don't know, what's the team, like a sand team. We could always run solar power if needed, with the Vanity. So yeah, it's got really good move pool. Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Focus Blast. I thought I got a lot more moves. Thunderbolt and Surf. So some key notable things. It's a really fast electric type that I needed on this team very badly. So next up we've got Big Mac, our Primeape. So again, I kind of decided to grab this over Hitmonchan. I felt like Hitmonchan was too predictable on my part to be drafting, and I knew people would try to go after it. Well, they also probably have known that I've used Primeape for a good 2 seasons straight, and I love this mon. I really do. Really good coverage with Gunk Shot, Outrage, Poison Jab, Night Slash, Low Kick, Ice Punch, Close Combat, Seed Bomb, yada yada yada. I feel like this mon actually did really well thanks to the tutors in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. So thank you, tutors. And all in all, a really good underlooked fighting type that I hope to take advantage of, especially with that Defiant ability. And finally, we have La, our Mischievous. I really needed a ghost type for rapid spinners, and And I just decided, why not? Let's grab this beautiful mon. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you everybody for watching. If you did enjoy this, please hit that like button down below. And until next time, peace out.